Let's go back to English with, where are we going next? Let's go to Keon from North Carolina. Keon, you're on the air.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Keon. Welcome.
Oh man, I was so excited. Well, I was just talking about you. Well, here's my question.
Please.
So I'm very interested in like military affairs and stuff like that, and I mean military tech and stuff. But my question is, what do you think? Do you think Ukraine should have kept their nuclear weapons instead of giving them up, because now they're dealing with the problem of potential? I'm not saying it's going to actually happen, but I mean, with as many troops as Putin got along the border, he might invade, and that's my fear. Do you think that Ukraine should have dismantled their nuclear weapons? Do you think that was a good idea, or do you think it was a bad idea?
This is a
From your
fascinating
perspective.
question. Keon, this may be a perfect question, okay? This is such an interesting thing. You know, when I'm going to get back to Ukraine and nuclear weapons, but when we think about North Korea, for example, and their nuclear ambitions and our desire for them to say, we're not going to do it, we're not going to do it. When you look historically, it sort of makes a lot of sense that countries would want and would try to have nuclear weapons. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Saddam had nukes and gave them up, right? I mean, like, this is the prototypical story where I think we would all agree that had Saddam not given up the nuclear program, maybe he didn't have nukes, but he had a nuclear program, right? I've not reviewed the history for a while. Obviously, the two wars on Iraq would have gone differently. Like, it's just it.
Yeah.
I am for nuclear disarmament. I hate nuclear weapons. There's no realistic way that we're going to have a nuclear war, but it's undeniable that other countries relate to you differently when you have them. So now people are saying Iraq did not, he didn't really choose to give them up, but they did. Someone else saying Iraq didn't have the ability to launch them, but they were working on it and they had material. Okay. The point here is it changed the course of the global communities dealing with Iraq. So do I want anybody to have nukes? No, I'd rather nobody have nukes. But would Ukraine's circumstances have been different had they not done away with their nuclear arsenal at the time or shortly thereafter of the dissolution of the Soviet Union? I'm going from memory. I don't remember exactly, but it was they had about a third of the arsenal of the Soviet arsenal and they gave it up. I think it's undeniable that over the last 30 years, things would have gone differently in Ukraine. Is that sort of an answer?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Hello. Hello. Oh, man. All right, Keon, we lost you, but that was a very, very good question, and I really, really appreciate it. Let's go next to Sean from Maryland. Sean, you are on the air.
Hey, David. Actually, I was wondering if you were in, like, outside, like, aside from the voicemails, touch with Whitney. And if so, would you be interested in doing a Dr. K kind of situation with her?
I am not in touch with her independent of the voicemails, and I would be glad to do the Dr. K stuff. If everybody felt... Sorry, what was that?
Go on.
If everybody...
I was just saying that, like...
Hold on, I'm going to talk, okay? Let me talk. Let me talk, then you go, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If everybody felt good that it was not exploitative, because I don't know Whitney's mental state, I would be glad to do that if Dr. K was amenable to it.
That's fair.
Is that fair?
Totally.
Okay. Anything else today, Sean?
No.
All right.
I was just
Sean
like,
from
I
Maryland,
really enjoyed that. It kind of gave us some really interesting insights to some of your more regular callers in and voicemail personalities, I guess.
I agree.
But I definitely agree. Like the making sure that it's not exploitative is pretty key.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd have to figure out, maybe Dr. K would have to do a pre-interview with Whitney, or who knows, but we'll explore. We'll explore.
Cool. All right.
All right, Sean
Thank
from
you.
Maryland, thank you for the call. Very much appreciate that. It's a very fair question. I mean, we just want to make sure everything's being done correctly and on the up and up. I want to say thanks to Hippie Chick for the Twitch Prime subscription. Already part of our 106 there. Let's hear from a couple of other people here. We're taking calls via Discord. Let's go to Sid Vicious from Hawaii. Sid Vicious, you were on.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well.
Man, I was actually, I wanted to comment on your last, the second last call about the nuclear program that
Okay.
Iraq. Yeah, they were building the French designed the plant and the Soviets built it, but under an operation by the Israeli Air Force, it was destroyed. So nothing really came from that, and it was basically the Israeli Air Force flew jets at a very low altitude over Jordan, and they reached Iraq and they destroyed the plants. So I don't know if that helps with the point that you were making earlier.
You know, I'm actually now thinking, I think I was thinking more about the disarmament of Libya under Gaddafi. Does that make more sense? Because that would have been around the same time. I believe it was the early 2000s when Gaddafi agreed to get rid of the nuke program. And then we know how that ended up, you know?
Yeah, he did willingly, actually. He was very cooperative at first. There were several visits by a few British, I think one or two British prime ministers back in the early 2000s or in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
To Libya. So he was very cooperative, if anything.
So I think I basically got my examples mixed up. The analysis is the analysis I said, but I think I meant to apply it to Gaddafi and not to Saddam.
That's exactly it. Well, I appreciate you taking time, man, to hear my call. Thank
Well,
you.
Sid Vicious, I appreciate the correction. Thank you so much. Really a very, very important one for sure. Let's check in with Ellie from Seattle. Ellie, you're on the air.
Oh, hey, David. Sorry, a little starstruck here. I was watching your show yesterday. You were talking about the situation with Ukraine and Russia.
Yes.
And how everyone, or a lot of people, don't seem all that interested in it. You know, they were way more interested in Biden calling the reporter a son of a bitch.
Right.
And you know, I guess my question is, like, how do we get people, you know, more interested in this stuff? Do we have to put on like some dog and pony show? Or
I really don't know, Ellie. You know, I mean, it's like you look at our video clips, and we obviously all of the sort of policy and foreign policy clips they require a lot more research, and you just look at, you know, you look at how well these clips do, and it's like, you know, 100,000 views, 200,000 views. I'm looking on my phone, 300,000 views. And then it's like, you know, Ukraine clip, barely anything. People are not paying attention. This is an ongoing issue, and I quite frankly don't have the answer.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even get people to believe in science. So how do we get them to care about foreign policy?
I agree with you. It's very, very difficult. And, you know, also the other aspect of this is there's a lot of people who think that just mentioning countries sort of like counts as foreign relations. Like we played this clip on Monday of Joni Ernst being asked, what would Republicans do if you won in November? And one of the things she listed was they would do foreign relations, as if that counts as anything. You know, it's crazy.
It's all just a bunch of word salad. They're just like blowing hot air, you know, that doesn't really mean anything, but people fill in the blanks however they want to.
Right.
And it garners support, and it's toxic, really.
It really is. And I wish I had solutions here, but I really am lacking them.
Yeah. Well, thanks, David.
All right. My pleasure. Great question from Ellie there.